Solana is looking way stronger than Bitcoin. And it seems to be largely him just chilling Solana and posting bull cases on Solana. And it's really, the price is reacting well to it. And that's really just him. Because he's been one of the loudest voices for Solana in the last couple of weeks, and price is respecting it. Welcome back to a new weekly investing stream. Let's just start with Bitcoin. High time frame. See what's going on. I haven't really been carrying, so I saw that price was at 58k. I haven't really looked at the chart that much, so that's what I will be doing if TradingView happens to load. It does. 58. This is not looking good, okay? um, well, there's only one way to cope, which is go to the weekly. But even then, it looks very weak. This really looks like it's going to stab at 55. Or maybe even 50. It looks like it's gonna send it lower. Like a weekly close below support. That's not a disaster because it can just close back above. But it starts getting dangerous when you see a another candle just of price action fully play out below the support level. So if this closes as it is, it's gonna be quite dangerous. So yeah, not looking good for Bitcoin as is for almost every coin in the market. But you can clearly see that Bitcoin is leading the weakness in the market. For example, virtual, there has been downside, but compared to Bitcoin, it's been very minimal. Anyways, I'll cover the fear and greed for Bitcoin. I suppose it's very low right now. Okay, this is way higher than I expected, but I expected it to be at 8 or 6, but it's relatively high still. Compared to what I expected. 15 is low, of course, but no outliers in this data. Yes, you're gonna expect this to be in fear or extreme fear if price is at the support levels. Holy shit, TradingView is cooked. What did catch my attention previously when we were at 60k, I can't show it right now because it's not loading, but we were at 60k, we tapped 59 or 60k, I'm not sure, a while ago in February it was, and then we went up a bit, like 5%, 10% maybe even. And then just the fear and greed level always was at 8 or something around that. It was very low compared to where the price was. Let's just do it like this. It was here at 66. Bitcoin, the fear and greed of Bitcoin was at 8 constantly, which was way lower than it should be. Like 15 at these levels is, I'd consider it quite high. I'd give this a 8. I'd predict a 5 or 8 level score on fear and greed, but it's way higher, so could follow through more based on only that. And as for the leverage, well, it does seem like people are going long. Funding is going up and open interest is going up as well. So it seems like people are longing this. So this might be a catalyst for Bitcoin to step lower to 50. Because look here, it this was a couple of days ago. Funding went up. Oh no, wait, this was just shorting. Funding went down, open interest went up, which means people are shorting. But here we see funding going up and open interest going up, which means people are longing this. So we might see a trend break lower. I'm not gonna try to capitalize on the trend break lower. I am going to just be doing airdrops again. So the game plan stays the same for the most part, which is boring, I know. That's just how it is. So that's for Bitcoin, high time frame and quite low time frame as well. Low time frame, I expect Bitcoin to take a step down, say 55 or 50, whatever, something in that range. Looks really attractive to go down with the data I have looked at. Then we go to Aura, which is still going sideways. It hasn't really moved since almost 2 weeks now. It's just been going sideways, which is a good sign. It's really done all its price action in a 15% range, which is really impressive considering all the volatility that occurred here. But Solana is setting up pretty well, hence why Aura is holding up well. And yeah, as for Aura, it's the same game plan as before. I'm just dollar cost averaging into it. And yeah, I remain doing this. You can follow my dollar cost average buys on Twitter. I always post them just to support the community. So yeah, that's for Aura. Not really a lot to mention there. I did the Cryptonary report last week. Covered it more extensively. This live stream is more so gonna be about airdrops, what my findings are, and how I'm approaching it. So yeah, we can also take a look at virtual, which is next on the list. Virtual testing support. Nothing too interesting to note there. It's just testing support here, so in this range. Haven't really been focused on virtual, but it's a long-term conviction bet anyways. So we're gonna see how that plays out. And yeah, it's mainly just waiting for Bitcoin to set a cycle low soon. And that's where we can start fully allocating into our cycle bags. Although I have good percentages of my allocations already done, I still have 60% in cash, which is used in airdrops right now. Okay, coins that are doing well. I firstly want to look at Hype, at Venice, and at Zach, because I always cover them. And I'm interested to see how they're doing. Hype looks like it's just consolidating. It had a failed breakout recently, and now it's just in this range. Going sideways, nothing really interesting to see there. Venice looks like it's starting to break down from its range. Already just testing support, but I'd expect this to be to start pulling back and setting a good range to build up some momentum again. Venice did have a great run so far. It's up more than 10x since the lows. It's 20x It has been, and currently it's 10x in so low. So Venice already has been a big winner, and now it seems like it's starting to roll over and look for a level to hold, which might just be the 750 level. This moving average, 200-day moving average. Might be this, but we'll see how it does. We have Zek, of course. See how Zcash is doing, supporting the 200-day moving average. And finding support there, so it's building a range there. So these three coins look pretty decent. Bitcoin is looking very weak. But yeah, we have seen a trend where Bitcoin has been losing its relative strength to a lot of even meme coins. And the most likely explanation for that happening is the fact that everyone who wanted to sell their crypto has already sold their crypto. And if you look at the risk ladder for crypto, you have the least risky is Bitcoin, then you have ETH, Sol, etc. Then you have old alts, then you have, I guess, newer alts, and then you have memes. So when your portfolio consists of these five types of coins and you want to sell something because you are expecting crypto to be weak, you're not going to sell Bitcoin at first. Firstly, you're going to sell memes. Then you're going to sell newer alts, then old alts, then ETH or Solana, and only then you're going to sell Bitcoin. So that's why the reason I think why Bitcoin is relatively weak compared to most alts. It's because the majority of people holding different types of crypto coins, they've already sold the most risky ones. So they've already sold their memes. They've already sold their ETH or old altcoins, Cardano, or the newer alts. They're already out of it. So that puts less potential sell pressure on the risky assets, which is the reason why they are pumping the hardest and just setting up the strongest. Which is also the reason why I recently said memes are less risky than Bitcoin. Because everyone already sold their memes and people sell their Bitcoin less so. As Bitcoin is still the lower risk asset, it's still the gold competitor. So that's what you are gonna have to look out for Bitcoin. But yeah, still on long time frame, of course, it's just the lowest risk asset. It's just that now in this stage of the cycle, relatively risky assets carry the least risk currently. So that's an interesting observation. We'll see how it plays out. Of course, right now we have in my watch list Aura being the weakest. But yeah, in general, the chart setups, we can even do it this way. It was CoinEx, Bitcoin USD. We can see how this is looking. Well, at least the alts aren't losing relative strength to Bitcoin, which, yeah, is a good sign. It's finding a base here, as you can see, of course. Anyways, I want to get into some memes that have been doing well. And it's mostly been Ansem, which is a key opinion leader on Twitter, who has been shilling some memes. This is troll. He has been shilling. He has been, how do you call it? He has been kind of shilling troll. Not really. He hasn't been hard shilling it, but he's been mentioning it quite a couple of times or generating AI pictures with troll in it. And yeah, he also has been shilling this coin. I don't think this is the correct chart. Well, I guess it is. He's been sharing this. I can't really access deck screener, but this is a new meme he has been shilling, which might be setting up for a great run. I'm not sure. I'm not in any of those memes. He has been shilling Solane Chillis, which has been doing relatively well, up 10x ever since he started chilling it. But you have to consider putting 10k in this coin is gonna cause some significant slippage at these prices. So a 10x is easy when you pump something from 10k market cap to 100k market cap, if you know what I mean. So this at these stages, I guess it was kind of illiquid, and yeah, that's the reason why it is so easy to do 10x. But this is something he has been shilling, and he has also gotten his own coin, which has been doing well, to say the least. It's at $150 million market cap, freshly listed on those exchanges, so the charts are quite tiny history-wise. But yeah, that's been doing very well. That's one of the biggest runners. It's up, well, what was it again? 10% today. But yeah, that's Ansem, who is really reviving Solana himself. And you can kind of see it in the chart. Solana is looking way stronger than Bitcoin. And it seems to be largely him just chilling Solana and posting bull cases on Solana. And it's really, the price is reacting well to it. And that's really just him. Because he's been one of the loudest voices for Solana in the last couple of weeks, and price is respecting it. So that's kind of the market as I've been seeing it in the last week. Let's just not totally skip the chat. Bitcoin dominance. Yeah, Bitcoin dominance nuking again, which has been kind of the trend. I guess it is alt season ever since here, 6th of May. It's just been alt season, but in a different way than it normally is. Normally, alt season is where alts go up and Bitcoin goes sideways, but here it is Bitcoin going down and alts going sideways. So, interesting. Yes, currently Soul's setting up by far the strongest. It is Venice, that's just what the company is called, yes. Okay, let's get into the airdrop segment, which I have been doing. So, I'll be sharing my results. Anyways, this has been what my points have been looking like. I'm gonna make this more clean, but um, I'm seeing a correlation with me having the highest volume ever on this week and seeing my points be the highest. So last week I had quite high volume, but I'm also seeing correlation between profitability and how many points you're getting. So that's interesting to note. I got 6 points, which will equal to around $300 in tokens, most likely at the most realistic case when it launches, when it releases. So decent week. This week I'm already at 115k in volume. But yeah, I made like a horrible mistake by waiting for my order to fill on VAR. I went long or short, I don't know, on NATO with the full size, so 30k position, and then my other order didn't get filled. So I just lost 250 bucks because I went short, price went up instantly, so I just got raped for 10% of my portfolio, for my 10% of my NATO allocations. So that was quite a disappointment, but that's sometimes how it goes. You learn, you do stupid things, and you learn lessons because of it. So that's for my airdrops, and yeah, in general, I've been quite busy as I now have a full-time job, and yeah, it really takes up a lot of time. But I'm actively getting taught how to sell, which is a lifelong skill which I needed to learn, and so that's a great way to develop myself. I haven't done uni or college or whatever. I just went out of high school and just got right into the sales game. So that's what I've been doing. Yeah, as for crypto, I haven't really been that active in crypto. It's mostly waiting game at these levels as well. Because as you can see, I've went over this quite a couple of times. But as you can see, typically where we are at now, I'll put it out there. Let's say we're here. Okay, ignore this. Let's say we are roughly here. This is going to be the upcoming season, historically. Or even this, or this. We're going into, most likely into, a soon to be very low volatility period for a couple of months. So yeah, that's just going to be a waiting game. You might see some volatility, um, but yeah, kind of this is just still a micro move in a way, because a macro move um, is from here to here, or from here to here, and here to here. But these are big sustained trends, and seeing this dump is just one leg of a trend, which is in itself a micro move. But big trends in and of themselves, that's what we want to extract value from as an investor, and that's not what we are at right now. So for us, it's just going to be waiting, and we don't want to waste time. So while we're waiting, we are doing the airdrops so we can deploy more cash later when we are most likely going to have a confirmed low, which is set for the cycle. And yeah, so that's going to be the game plan, and still following it as intended. So that's for the current market approach. Not much new to share about Aura, about virtual, and it's kind of a slow week in a sense. Oh yeah, big thing I wanted to cover, which I didn't cover yet, is the bottom. So I covered this. I expect it to go lower, just looking at the fear and greed and looking at the funding and the price action. But I found to work on airdrops. So being profitable is a big thing. I suspect because I don't have the database to make it statistically significant. It might be some kind of randomness in the points allocation, but being profitable and having high volume, I think that's maybe even the biggest contributor to getting a lot of points. And this is a really important lesson, which I forgot to cover so far, so I will do it now. With a coin like Ansem, which is a new coin, which is already at $150 million market cap, just because he shielded, he really has a big voice in crypto. And kind of to give some context, who is Ansem? Ansem is a Twitter influencer, and last cycle he called Solana at $1.50. He called Wave early. He made maybe even 8 figures on Wave. He joined crypto in 2017, which isn't really that big of a that's just quite normal, I guess. But he did very well last cycle in Wave mostly and in Sol. That's what he that was in his home run bet, so to speak. He made a big bag on Sol and Sol memes. So now he made a coin, Ansem, or at least he started backing a coin, Ansem, and it went 100x in a day, roughly. And it realistically could be a coin that's going to hit 1 billion. Or this coin could also be hitting 1 billion, which is both nothing I'm allocated to. And the urge to, when you see coins performing well, the urge to rotate into such coins because you want to capture the big gains, it's such a strong urge and you have to fight it. Because Aura can be $1 billion runner, and you have your thesis and you're allocating, your average entry price is nice, etc. But you see other coins doing better than your coin, and then you decide to move into the other coins, and that's exactly the moment when your coin starts doing well, and then you miss that move, and then you put your money back in, and then you miss the next. So it's really dangerous to just FOMO into the next coin. And it's easy to say, but when you experience the FOMO and the fear of your coin doing nothing and everything else running up, that's, I think, one of the biggest deciding factors of whether you're going to make it in crypto or not. That's one of the biggest mind games you have to conquer. You have to beat. Let me rephrase it. That's one of the biggest mind games you have to beat. That's what I've been experiencing. But when such a thing happens, just zone out. Don't think about it too much. Just trust the process. I don't know, fucking touch grass or whatever. And yeah, come back a little bit later. But because often I've had this multiple times already where I wanted to allocate into a different meme because I heard people saying that it could go to billions and the story sounded realistic, etc. But they all went down 50, 60, 70% right after. So just stick to the process because you need to have a certain level of conviction to even get your coin to run to billions. Because if you don't have the conviction, you're not going to be able to hold to good prices. Just having the conviction in one coin is the reason why you are able to not sell it at 2x. I guess if that makes sense. Anyways, the concept of FOMO is like the number one thing killing any investor. Just rotating at the wrong times. And if you think, okay, Aura might be a good bet, but this one is even better, then buy it when it's down. Don't buy it when it's going up, because that's the highest risk place to buy anything. Okay, so let's see how this does. And I think, I think the reason why this combination is the most important is because, and some of this information might not really be relevant to you guys, by the way, but the score is A times the square root of B. A is the P&L, so your profitability, and B is the trading volume on TradFi markets. So this only depends on your volume and your profitability. And as you can see, profitability, P&L, and volume. These factors, when coupled correctly, so profitable and high volume, you're going to get by far the most points. Because here I had a lot of volume, low profitability, so little points. Same thing here. Then I did reasonable volume and I was profitable and way more points. Same thing here. Triple the volume, double the points roughly. So yeah, but I didn't have double the P&L. So yeah, whatever, I guess. So let's see how that's gonna be playing out. I want to get high into the competition because that's gonna give me a lot of points as well. But I need more trading volume to even participate. But it's looking alright. Anyways, I think I'm gonna end the stream here. Kind of a slow week for the markets, for anything interesting to develop. I guess the Ansem developments have been quite interesting, but the relevancy to my portfolio is limited. But it's just funny to follow, and I guess you'll learn some things from it as well. So I'm gonna end it here. See you in the next stream.